I'm going to give you my comparison of the pros and cons of both the Sony WF-1000XM4s as well as the Apple Airpods Pro. Now let's start off with the glaringly obvious one, the name. Sony, what the heck, bruh? Have you heard about the new WF-1000XM4s? Oh my gosh, dude. I have no idea what you're talking about. Exactly. Okay, the AirPods Pro seems like plural than singular. You know, the AirPods Pro. Why not the AirPod Pros? I mean, that just kind of glides off your tongue a little bit better. I think that's pretty much what everybody wants to call them. Anyway, Apple had a different idea. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's go with the pros of the AirPods Pro. The user interface with iPhone users is really streamlined. It's much better than the user interface of the Sonys on an iPhone or even an Android. The Sonys do have their own app, and that helps address that. The next thing is the charging case is a little slimmer than the Sony. I'm just gonna call these Sonys because I'm not saying WF-1000XM4s every time. Mega dedans, as we say here in Cajun country. It's a little slimmer. The fit of the AirPods Pro is a little more comfortable. These tips are a little more malleable. When you give on them, when you push on them, you see how easy they give some. And for that reason, they're a little more comfortable in the ears, especially with long-term use. Pros of the Sonys, they do have a deeper bass response. They just go lower than the AirPods Pros. Really nice, especially for music listening. On the Sonys, the earbuds are made out of a different type of foam, kind of like a memory foam. And because of that, they seal really well in your ears, which is great for blocking out noise regardless of the ANC. Let's go to the cons. On the Apple AirPods Pro, the seal being a little more comfortable comes at the cost of not being quite as tight. And because of that, it lets in a little more noise in the room. So the ANC is good, but not quite as good, in my opinion, as the Sonys. Now they do have a pretty good bass response, but they are a little lacking in that department for my personal preference. So take what you will from that. It's not that they're bad, they're not. They're just not quite as punchy as I'm looking for, especially for the money that you spend on them. The transparent mode works really well. To a flaw, in my opinion. The transparent mode is not a 1-to-1 ratio of what you would hear without them in your ears. It actually amplifies your environment a little louder than what you would hear without them in. For the hearing impaired and many other people, that may be their preference. It's not my personal preference. I prefer to have closer to that 1-to-1 ratio. So I found that personally, using them, I didn't want to have them on transparency mode. The next thing is the ANC. The ANC works really well. For me personally, it made me dizzy. This is not the first pair of earbuds or headphones that have done that to me. I have tried a pair of headphones from Bose years ago that did the same thing. I'm not quite sure why they do that. ANC, I know they take in noise from outside and they process that and then produce other frequencies to crash against that noise, therefore canceling them out. Perhaps maybe some of the frequencies that the AirPods Pros are using, or possibly messing with my equilibrium. I'm not quite sure, but most people that I know that have these don't have that issue, so that might just be me. Now the cons on the Sonys, sometimes I have experienced loss of synchronization between the two earbuds, and it's usually after being paused for a moment or two. It's really frustrating. Listening to a podcast or music or whatever, I'll hit the pause button, come back a few seconds later, and it sounds like there's an echo. And the reason of that echo is because one is just a hair, a few milliseconds behind the other, but that echo effect takes place. Sometimes I've even had the left one cutting in and out a little bit, and even so, maybe it was a little lower on volume, so it felt like the voice of whatever I was listening to was moving over to the right side. I did bring this to Sony's attention. They told me to go ahead and initialize them, and if that didn't fix it, to let them know. Now, I haven't got to the initializing yet, and yesterday they released a new update on these, so I'll have to check on these and ask if you want to know about that in the comments down below, and I'll answer it once I've been able to check it fully. Now, being that these ear tips fit very well, they fit a little snugger than other models, including the AirPods Pros, so some people may experience discomfort, especially after wearing it for a long time. I highly recommend you trying out different ear tips on any earbuds that you use, especially if you're getting discomfort anytime soon after putting them in. You probably have too big of ear tips on. Try the next size smaller. They generally come with 3 3, small, medium, and large. So you want to get the right ear tips to really enjoy that listening experience out of any earbuds that you try. Shoot me a comment down below if you've experienced some pros and or cons on either one of these that I didn't describe here in this video. This was my take personally. I'm not speaking for any company, obviously. Everybody has different ear types. This is my preference. If you have something else that you'd like me to address in one of these, shoot it down below in a comment and I'll check it out. I'll do my best to answer them. If there's a video that you'd like to see on specific features of these things, let me know. If you'd hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, that really helps me out. I want to keep coming back, bringing you guys better and better content each time. You guys are awesome. I appreciate and love you guys so much. Be sure and come back next time. In the meantime, you have a blessed day.